Shalom. I want to start by giving all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. And shalom to all the brothers out there pushing this truth and sincerity. So, the subject I want to get into is patience and how that's, just really vital and important when coming to this truth. The first scripture I want to bring out is Galatians 6:9. It reads, "And let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not." So when looking at this scripture, man, it's, telling you, do not be weary in your well-doing. Let us not be weary in well-doing. That's, just talking about how when you're out here putting in the work of the Most High, you're out here making videos, you're out here on the highways and byways, spreading this truth, trying to wake these people up, continuing to follow the Sabbath, just follow all his laws. And there's going to be times when, it seems like things aren't going your way. There's going to be tests. The Lord is going to test you. He's going to give you rough times. He's going to put you through rough times, just to see and test your faith. And, you got to be strong in those times. As it reads on, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. So when it's saying for in due season we shall reap, that's just talking about you will reap the benefits. If you're out here putting in that work and you're not worried about, negative things that might happen to you in this world. This world is a negative place all in all. So bad things are going to happen regardless, especially coming into this truth. Things that that might not have ever happened to you before might happen to you, because you put in the work of the Most High. And if you look at those prophets back in the day, those prophets out there in the Bible, when they were back in the day and they were out there, man, like the stuff that they went through compared to the stuff that we might go through today doesn't even compare at all. They were going through it way worse. People were doing way worse things to them. There was way less laws. The way we have this government set up and all these laws, they were way less lawless as far as their government. They were just following the laws of the Most High. But you gotta look at how many people weren't following those ways of the Most High when they're out there on those highways and byways spreading the truth. So, you just you gotta be strong and do not be weary. Like it says, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. You'll reap the benefits of that. And what's the benefits? Those benefits are seeking kingship with the Most High, being one of those 1/3 and part of the elect, man. Giving those spiritual powers to govern over the earth, man. And that's what this is about. That's what all these brothers out here are fighting for, man. That's the spot that's the spot you want to get. Helping the Most High, being one of his men, that he says, you get these powers. You get to govern the earth. You get to become a king in the kingdom of heaven, man. That's the ultimate spot that you want to get. And it's also way worth more than, worrying about things that are going on in this world and getting frustrated and, angry or confused. Fighting for that spot, and becoming a king in the kingdom of heaven, the things that you will get to do, the spiritual power that you will have, the knowledge that you will have, the understanding that you will have, is way more powerful than anything that you can achieve in this life. So don't be pressing for any, super positive things to be happening while you're here, man. Just make sure you're focusing on putting in the work and practicing in the ways of the Most High and following his laws, man. Next scripture I want to get into, talking more about patience, is Ecclesiastes 7:8. And it reads, "Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, and patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit." So, it's talking about when it says better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. So, you're out here, and all these brothers, you look at brothers who've been out here teaching for years, man, knowing for years, and they know the things that are to come. They know what the end of this world is going to be like, World War III. They see the mark of the beast with the RFID chip. They see all these prophecies playing out, man. And we know we're seeing all these brothers waking up all over the world, four corners of the earth, that we are in the times of the end. These are the signs that we are in the times of the end, as the Lord so told us. So, better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. So it's saying, better is it if you are putting in the work, knowing what is to come at the end, than focusing on trying to begin something new. You focusing on trying to become a new person or live a new life or find something new. There's people that are out here trying to get rich quick scheme. This isn't, the way of the Most High isn't one of those get rich quick scheme type of things. It's not one of those type of deals. This is a thing where patience is the most important, like I alluded to when I first started speaking. This is something that shows you that patience is the ultimate, test of strength when you're in this truth. And like it says, as it reads on in Ecclesiastes 7:8, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. So like I just said, that's just talking more about you having faith and you knowing that you're putting in the right work to get a chance to sit on one of those 12 thrones, man, and better than the proud in spirit. So it is better to have faith and be patient and wait, be more like it says, wise as a serpent, innocent as a dove. You're not out here boasting and bragging and speaking on things you're doing, things you're accomplishing, or even bragging and boasting about knowing this truth. You're just putting in the work and you're being patient, humble about it, not proud. Proud is that's having pride, too much pride. Pride to the point where it hurts and now you rushing to get things. You're frustrated a lot. And, this world is wicked, so it's backwards. So there's going to be things that do frustrate you. But being silent about it, not being weary, being strong, having faith, being patient and humble. Those are the things that help you, in these troubled times and when you're dealing with wickedness. These are the things that will keep you sane, man, and will ultimately, not lead you astray and help you stay strong, stay in the truth. I'm gonna read two more scriptures, before I end this off. But this one I want to talk about right here. It's 1 Corinthians 13:4. Charity suffereth long, and is kind. Charity envieth not. When it's talking about that word charity is talking about how, you're practicing the laws of the Most High. You're out here on the highways and byways trying to wake people up and spreading this word, letting people know the prophecies that are to come and that have passed. And it's talking about you following the Sabbath, not committing adultery, eating right, following the right dietary laws, not committing adultery. All the ways of the Most High that are closer to righteousness in this wicked world, man. Just trying to be as righteous as you can be, as lawful as you can be by the laws of the Most High. This is what it means by charity. And as it reads, charity suffereth long. So you're gonna be feeling like you've been doing this, for a minute, man. When you're in this truth, and it's just like I said, you look at the elders in these camps, they've been doing this thing for longer than a lot of us have even been alive, man. So, when it says charity suffereth long, that's the truth, man. It really means that they're living examples of that. And as it reads on, charity suffereth long and is kind. Charity envieth not. So when it's saying that it's kind and envieth not, it's talking about how when you're out here putting in this work, man, and you're out here, practicing the ways of the Most High, you are happy in it, man, because you know what is ultimately to come. You know what is at the end of that road, man. You know that you are seeking and auditioning for kingship, and that the suffering of this wicked world is going to come to an end. Like I read earlier, better is the ending of a thing than the beginning thereof, man. So it's better to be in this truth, man. Just charity is kind. That's why it says that. You should be happy, man, that you are doing this. You should be happy that the Lord chose you to even grasp this understanding. That is the most precious thing you could ever ask for from any being, period. You have the respect and honor of the Most High to even grasp and understand this truth. The blessing of the Most High to even understand this truth. And that's why it reads on, charity envy if not. Because you putting in the work of the being who created all things. The one who created all things, who people have been led astray from, even our own people. You know, even all of the Israelites, the so-called Black, Latinos, and Native Americans. All of them have been led astray from this truth. And now brothers are coming back in, but only a certain amount of brothers are even going to grasp this understanding. Only a certain amount of people from the nation of Israel are going to even grasp this understanding. So, you know, you shouldn't be jealous or envious of anyone, especially not anyone in this truth, because, you know, we're all given the same penny. We are all given that same grasp of understanding, that knowledge, that ability, you know, to understand. Now, what you do with it is different. What brothers do with it and that knowledge, understanding is different. But we are all given the same penny. So that's why it says charity envy if not. And it reads on, charity vaunteth not itself. It is not puffed up. So, you know, just the end of that scripture, what the end of that scripture means. It's saying charity vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up. That's basically just, you know, saying it's not something you brag or boast about. You know, when you're putting in charity work, which in this sense is, you know, the work of the Most High, I'm doing what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to be out here bragging and boasting like, oh, I know this and I know that. That's why, you know, it says, be wise as a serpent, innocent as a dove. You know, if you're innocent as a dove, those are like harmless birds. You know, if you've ever seen a dove, that's a harmless bird who just sits there and minds his own business. That's his thing. But you wise as a serpent. You know, a serpent, that thing can attack you at any time. That thing knows ways to get at you that you might not even understand. So, you know, when you're in this truth, when it's saying charity vaunteth not itself and is not puffed up, that's what it means, man. You just being humble about it. You know, you being to yourself. You speak when you have to, not when you want to. You know, so that's what that's talking about. This final scripture I want to get into to end this video off is Isaiah 40:31, and it reads, "But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and shall walk and not faint." And this is one of my favorite scriptures, man. This is, when I was first coming into this truth, something that really kind of hit home with me when I was, you know, just being taught and trying to understand things that the brothers were talking about when they were trying to let me know what this meant and what, you know, the kingdom of heaven, and just understanding everything and the reasons why it's so important to follow these laws and put in that work. So when you're reading it and it says, "But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength," and when it's talking about that spiritual power, when it's talking about that, it's talking about those kings, those kings of those tribes, the elect. You know, it's talking about the elect and how you guys are gonna, and Lord willing, I'll be of that elect, gonna renew their strength. You know, these men are gonna renew their strength. They're gonna have spiritual powers and understanding of all things, which is a simple way to kind of break down what I mean when I do say spiritual powers. That's the understanding of all things, that knowledge of all things, knowing how to manipulate the elements, knowing how to ultimately govern the earth, because that's the task at hand. When you talk about this elect, man, we're going to be asked to govern the earth. you know, make decisions on how people are supposed to be living in a righteous way. In a righteous way. We're going to be leading in righteousness. So this is what that's talking about when it says, but they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. You know, that's just adding on more to just him letting you know, plain and simple, you know, we're going to be high. We're going to be the men who are asked to, you know, be of higher standards, be holding ourselves to that higher standard and being able to know right from wrong in a way that doesn't have to do with emotion, in a way that just has to do with, like I said, righteousness and wickedness, and splitting that difference and knowing the understanding of that. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. So that's just saying, you know, these men, hopefully, Lord willing, I'll be one of them, like I said, will be confident, you know, will not be worried, will not be shaky, because we will have that understanding. We will have that renewed strength. You know, when the Lord comes back in those final days and you see those chariots and the men being brought up into those chariots, they're going to be receiving their spiritual bodies. We're going to be receiving our spiritual bodies, man. And that's renewing our strength. That's when we're going to mount up with wings as eagles, man. And we will run and not be weary. You know, and the end of the scripture reads, and they shall walk and not faint. That's just tying back into they shall run and not be weary, man. It's the same thing. So, you know, when you understand these scriptures, it's real plain, and it keeps it real simple, and it's telling you, you know, if you in this spirit, man, patience is the key. Patience is the ultimate, you know, test of strength. It's the ultimate thing that will give you strength, man, that faith and that patience. Because we're in those final days, man. Martial law is out. You can't even go out in the streets. You can't eat or, you know, get anything that's worth anything if you don't have the chip. You know, people are going to be getting put in concentration camps, and it's going to be a lot of us. It's going to be a lot of Israelites in those camps, man. It's going to be a lot of Israelites in those camps, man, and they're putting people to death. They out here just complete wickedness and lawlessness. When all of that is running them up, patience and faith are going to be the things that are going to keep you the most sane. You know, when that being said, I want to give our praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of great millstones. And shalom to all the brothers out there pushing this truth and sincerity. Shalom.